What didn't happen in 2024? Globally, locally, personally, it all adds up. Hi everyone, I'm Nutskis. But for this video, maybe just Austin. It's gonna be pretty deep and heavy video, very personal, because 2024 has been incredibly hard and personal. Bad things happen in life time to time, and sometimes it feels like it's this one thing after another. But 2024 was quite literally one thing after another. This is going to be quite the video essay, so bear with me. And you can just podcast this even if you want to. I'm definitely going to forget things. Actually, in the script, I forgot how I started 2024. January 1st, 2024. The girl I was talking to, I thought like things were going well, and they were going well. Just ghosted. That was cool. And I remember sitting there like, surely this will set the tone for the year. So anyways, so that was January 1st. Let's jump to February, where I had what I later found out was kidney stones. 2 or 3 times through that month, including on my birthday. I woke up early in the morning. That's like insane pain. I was just like, oh my god, I don't know what this is. What is happening? But then after a few minutes, it would go away. And I was like, all right, it went away. It's not my appendix. I don't hurt anymore. We're just gonna go with that. I was fine again until May. That pain hit again and didn't go away. And it was the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. I can handle pain pretty well. I've had to a lot my whole life. This was unbearable. I don't remember the last time I cried from pain. And this was the first time I threw up from pain. Now, thankfully, this is why I was still in Kansas, and the hospital was literally across the street. The ER entrance, specifically, was across the street. And so I went. It was my first time being in the ER. First time being in the hospital as a patient, even. Most intense pain ever. Like, eventually, after questioning and waiting and tests, they gave me morphine. Like, we're just gonna jump you straight to morphine. After about 30 minutes, in a room full of nurses and one doctor, I just kind of look at, as they're all talking amongst themselves, I just look at them and go, so, should this have kicked in by now? And the look on their faces was just like confusion and shock. One nurse was just like, well, I want to be a little more YouTube friendly. So one nurse was like, I'm gonna go get stronger stuff. She booked it out, came right back. They gave me that. And thankfully that worked within minutes. And once I was able to like think again and collect myself and breathe, I looked at the nurses and was like telling them like that. I've never experienced anything like that. I've had all kinds of injuries and pain. I've had this and this and this. And they go, yeah, if it took stronger stuff for that to work, and based on your symptoms you came in, you experienced childbirth level pain. Not like normal average childbirth, like you go through labor and a kid comes out. Like on the worst end of the spectrum, childbirth pain. I'm good. Never again. Never again, dude. That was awful. In addition, I had my blood drawn 4 times that day. And an IV in me. Thankfully, up in my arm, like right here. Just talking about it. Ever since I was a kid, that's having an IV in me was the worst thing imaginable. I was like, I hope I never have to do that. I'm okay with needles when it's shots, but needles with like blood drawn, I think, no, thank you, no, freaks me out. I was in such fight or flight mode and so much adrenaline that at the time I didn't care. The third blood draw was I was finally feeling better, and I was like, I was too tired to really care. I was like, alright, I just won't look. I've done okay so far, and it was whatever. The fourth time, I was in my hospital bed, in the room, fully better, no pain, nothing. I was totally good, and that's when I was like, oh god, this sucks. Still the IV hooked into me too, but yeah, all the needles and poking and prodding, my anxiety was through the roof. I can't believe I slept that night. Food wasn't bad though, surprisingly. I get out the next morning, go home, I sleep. And then I had to go pick up a medicine, came back home, slept that night. Woke up next day, no voice. No voice at all. Because that day, I went to the ER, the pain was so intense, I couldn't stop groaning and making noises. Literally non-stop. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. I was just constantly I wanted to stop, trust me. I was annoying myself. I was so annoyed. I literally could not make myself stop. I tried holding my breath. It just came out. I couldn't stop. Going through the hospital, being carted to tests and everything, and when they'd open the door and stuff, other people looking in. I mean, oh my god, nurses looking in. There was a dude literally standing there, rags. Dude was massively bleeding from his arm, just chilling. And he was looking at me oh my god, is that guy okay? Awful. And yeah, because my throat was just raw. Nothing worked. I tried everything. I tried the most severe, intense working stuff. Nothing. Maybe 5 minutes of something working. Now mind you, this is in May, the end of May. That's St. Jude Play Live season. That's fundraising season. We still had money to raise. And so we did. I still streamed, not being able to talk. Talking through my own chat with everyone. I forget what I was even doing. Maybe some design stuff. Maybe we were messing around in Photoshop. I don't know. But I did it. And May 31st, I streamed till midnight to get every last dollar possible. And we raised $1,100. In the ER, I actually thought of the kids at St. Jude. I've been lucky enough to been invited to the Play Live Summit in 2023 and 2024. I'm hoping to go again this year. So I've seen the medical campus. I've seen patients walking by. I've read and heard the first-hand stories of what kids go through. I've seen, unfortunately, we haven't been able to visit the patient areas and see the kids, but seeing the equipment and tech that they experience and use for the treatments, it's just everything they go through. I was thinking, what I'm going through right now is nothing compared to what these little kids go through every single day. I was yeah, I'm freaked out by needles and this is valid. This is an intense pain I've never experienced, and I'm kind of freaking out. But I'm 29 years old. Dude, I can handle it. I'll get through this. There's 5-year-old to handle chemo like a champ. The nurses checked in on me during the third blood draw, because I did early on mention how I was they did the first one, they sent me over the IV and everything. I was this is gonna suck because I don't like this stuff. So they checked in on me to see how I was doing. And I told them, trust me, my anxiety spiked up to the moon. But I'm a St. Jude, Children's Research Hospital ambassador. I was even wearing one of my Twitch jackets that has the St. Jude emblem on the side. I've been there and I've seen a lot. I just keep reminding myself that the children go through their treatments every day that involve chemo and all these invasive tests and needles and everything. I could deal with some common medical stuff like a blood draw. You know, that's really what kept me kind of grounded that whole day. That whole 24 hours exact, actually. I was released and left 24 hours from when I went in. I wasn't even playing, that was just how it went. It's alright, I survived my first hospital trip, ER trip. I survived. Worst end of childbirth level pain. I cannot reiterate that enough. Lost my voice to the point where it hurt to breathe. And finished May by still streaming for hours to raise money for St. June. Cool, let's go into June. What more could happen? He said, foreshadowingly. So we're into June, a few weeks into June. I'm sitting in a parking spot, and this older woman who was parked next to me, we're both facing like the aisle of the parking lot. And we both like pulled through, so when we leave, we just drive and go. There's no backing out or anything. She gets in, and for whatever reason, just when she went to pull out, just immediately turned and hits me. Cool. Now I get to deal with that and insurance and everything. It was fine. I was fine. She was fine. You know, he hit me like 5 miles an hour, enough to like knock me over a little bit and kind of drag me along for a bit. It was just some scratch marks on my car. It kind of looks like I have anime scars on my car, actually. So into July, more car issues. I had to, work on. Had to take to a shop. Apartment flooded from rain. There's so many other things going on. I thought something more was wrong with Tracer. Like money was getting super tight because all this time I'm doing Instacart and Twitch as income because I lost my job in August 2023. And we're in July 2024 and nothing's come of it yet. And because of this, come the end of July, I had to make the hardest decision yet, and swallow my pride to just pack up and move back to my hometown in Illinois. The 1-bedroom places, like between the rent and bills, I just couldn't do it. Out there with Instacart alone, it wasn't going to work out. Even with my family trying to help best I could, it was just really sucks. But I mean, small town USA, Illinois, like rent was just a lot cheaper. My great aunt left me a house to rent. And I'm like, okay, cool. I have a whole house at least. It was gonna be temporary anyways, but it really sucked. I had to leave my friends, my best friend, David, over 20 years. And friends, we've never lived more than 10 minutes apart. And now we're 7 hours away. And leaving, that solid support system of friends I had out there. The area in general, I loved it out there. It was great. So, alright, last weekend in July, packed up a U-Haul trailer, or truck, actually. Backed up Tracer, and drove U-Haul truck 7 hours out here. It moved in. About 3 weeks into it, so we're into August now. About 3 weeks into living there, finally get internet set up, and we're good. Like, everything's unpacked. It's kind of like, I'm kind of accepting it, settling in, internet hooked up, like, things are smoothing out. Okay, like, I'm kind of coming to terms with it. I can make this work. It's fine. Internet gets set up. The next day, I get a message from my great aunt being like, oh, hey, just want to let you know, realtor's gonna be stopping by. Okay, why? Oh, we're putting a house up for sale. You're a one now. That's funny, cause I'm here, begging you to be here. You're like, yeah, right now it's for sale. So that meant I had X amount of time to find somewhere else. Yeah, no one in the family took that well. No one in the whole town took that well. Back to apartment hunting. Back to packing up. So after a few weeks of that, and finding a place, getting denied for essentially no reason, and being ghosted, then we finally found this place in the middle of September. Yeah. We moved in like September 16th or something. So I found this place, I repacked, and moved, bracing for more change. I'm just exhausted. I didn't even care at that point. I was like, alright, whatever. Throw things in the box, I don't care. Throw things in the car, whatever. Just get this over with. I've been exhausted for so long. We're in September now, more than half way through this year, and I'm just every day exhausted. I move in mid-September. 2 days later, Tracer starts acting weird. Like, she's having trouble walking. She's kind of like, back legs are out more than usual. She's kind of wobbly. And we had just been to the vet the week before, and all was good. Her hyperthyroidism was acting up a bit. We got her meds, meds upped even a little bit. All should have been good. All was looking good. And now she's acting weird. And then the next day she got worse. And the day after that she got worse. I called the vet. The day we went to the vet was the 4th day of, like, oh, she's acting weird. 1, 2, vet. That's the earliest we could get in. Trust me, the earliest I could get in. There's no ER vets around here. The vet we went to is like 40 minutes away. And to get in, and mind you, last time we were there a week ago, it was, thyroid's acting up, it's happened, it will happen. Nothing we can't handle, That day we went in, and she had lost 3 pounds. Couldn't really walk anymore. Mind you, she weighed in at 5 pounds already. That was 5 to 6 pounds was normal for her. She weighed in at 2.4 pounds. And that doctor said, might start thinking about end of life care. Now, I adopted Tracer in 2017, in summer. So, by now she was older. She was about 11 years old. Pretty sure. We don't know exact age because her last owner found her on the streets. So we're pretty sure about 11. But she was healthy. And we've had several vets over the years. Moving and changing doctors and stuff. And they all pretty much had general agreement that, like, oh, she's gonna live. But without really knowing her breed and taking a guess, from what we can tell and from my previous tests and everything, 15 at least. Like, you're taking good care of her, she seems happy and great, so, you got time. In a matter of a week, a matter of days, things went from, we're a little concerned, but she'll bounce back. Like, help her medicine, she'll bounce back, we'll be good, to, we can try to see if she'll come back, but you might want to start prepping. Just that fast. What we determined was happening was, it was her hyperthyroidism, but it kicked in. Like I said, it had been it's stable. From time to time, it would spike, and she would, I could be like, you're losing a pound or two, or you're like, you're eating a lot more, but still seeing you like lose a pound here and there. You'd go back to, upping your medicine by, I think it was a 0.5 milligram or something. 0.5 to 1 milligram, whatever I deem necessary. Give her a little extra food, or keep up, and that was that. But this time it hit so hard, nothing was able to keep up, and her body started burning her muscles for energy just to stay alive. That day we went to the vet was Friday. That night, she couldn't even walk. She couldn't walk on her own. She had made it to just in the doorway of the bedroom, where it's carpet. This whole apartment's hardwood or vinyl, whatever. Bedroom's carpeted, and she made it just in the doorway. Fell over, and that's just where she decided she was going to be. So I set up blankets and towels, her food, water right there, her litter box right there, so I could just pick her up. She would let me know when she had to go, and I just pick her up and set her in, and like hold her up. I just couldn't see her continue to go through that. The last ditch medicine even wasn't enough. It was max dose applied on her skin, like direct absorption. Max dose of the special thyroid medicine didn't change a thing. And if it did, it still would have been at least a year for her muscles to regrow and for her to get her strength back. It would have been a year of me having to be home 24/7 to carry her and to do everything, assist her with everything until she's able to be ready to start learning to walk again. And by the time she might be able to walk on her own normally, she would have been 13 probably, getting to the expected life expectancy anyways, and that was still a low chance of happening. So that Friday night, made the decision. I called the vet. Monday morning we'd go and say goodbye. So I made sure that weekend we stayed together all the time. I set her on this little self-warming mat. I carried her in here, and she was on my lap while I edited, did some other stuff, played some games. And Sunday, I set us up in bed. I got her treats, her food, water, everything. I got myself drinks and snacks, and we just stayed in bed all day, all night. Just stayed together. Her on that mat up my lap. We just snacked and hung out the whole day. I set her up, sleep next to me, and Monday morning, September 30th, took her in to say goodbye. That's 3.5 months ago now, I guess. It's really hard to still talk about. Got her ashes back 2 weeks later. But I got home that day and had to figure out how I was gonna continue going on in a place I already didn't want to be in. Like, mentally, emotionally, physically. I'm in an entire state away from my friends, in a place I don't want to be, in Now I have to do it without my best friend. 7 years of her knowing when I was upset, sad, and she just know and come to like help me. Especially in the last few years, if I was home, 99% of the time she was on my lap or on my chest. Follow me on social media, you've seen all the pictures. We were inseparable. To be honest, I don't remember October or most of November up until about Thanksgiving. I really don't remember anything. I was so disassociative, numb, uncaring, really. I woke up, made my coffee, played video games, watched streams or YouTube, go to sleep way too late, develop insomnia, like a week or two, rinse and repeat each day. I didn't think much of anything. I didn't care to. I didn't care. At that point, I just did not care what happened to me. The one thing that's stood out is my community, my friends, we all came together to raise money for the vet costs for that day. A memorial box for her ashes. You might be able to see back from the bookcase, but I also have a picture up here. And I was able to commission one of my best friends for a portrait of her. It's framed in my bedroom. And extra, I think everyone ended up raising double what I originally asked. I only put in up an amount if that costs and a little extra for like a memorial box. And everyone made sure that the goal was doubled. I'm just forever grateful to my friends and my amazing community for all the support and kindness. Mind you, I think it was just under a month's time of I'm in the house and hey, you have to move, to moving in here. And then 12 days or so later, I lose Tracer. That quick. In between all of this, there's family issues and drama and other issues in my life going on, and people getting sick and almost losing people I care about, and taking care of Tracer, before and during everything. Is always, no matter what, I came second. If she was happy and taken care of, that's what mattered most to me. That's what kept me going each day. Was I may be having a rough time, her life is not going to suffer because of it. I wanted to make sure of that. In dealing with my own mental health that had been severely affected, I really thought I was going to lose myself. I had part of what, made me make the decision to move back to Illinois was the intense breakdown I had in July. If it wasn't for Tracer, I probably would have had David come over and take me to the hospital, to a psych ward or something. I don't know. I just shattered. And also, I'm still applying to jobs during hospital. And out here in Illinois, middle of nowhere, there's no Instacart. There's DoorDash, but there's like 4 places that do it. And people don't, because just all from town, people go do their things. They have the places they go to, and they go do it, I'm applying to jobs. Local, in town, in county, places where I have family working, places where I have, like, family friends working. Someone I know knows someone who knows someone. I'm applying remote jobs. I'm hitting up creators. I'm hitting up freelance sites. I'm doing everything. Still nothing. Actually, to the day of this recording, we're in January 2025. Nothing. Twitch was basically all I was getting. And then I just read, I think in December, it was reported that 2024, I wish I could remember the study, but 2024 was the worst year for the job market since the 2008 recession. Cool. Neat. So yeah, I just did my best to focus on streaming, and I had some commissions here and there, and I wasted a lot of time this the last half of the year. I could have been doing more content and growing. I wanted to so bad. There was a short stint I was going where there's the Polytrack videos and Guts and Glory. I had a Genshin Impact sponsorship, which helped a lot. I was just exhausted. Every day, beginning to end, all year long. I couldn't find the energy to text people back, message people back. I wasn't not only not streaming myself, I wasn't in streams. I didn't have the social energy to even be in a chat or even watch a stream, because the communities I'm in are, and this is a good thing, they're a lot. It's a lot, but in a good way. It's always super positive, and everyone's friendly, and everyone's great, and it's always a great time. And I wanted to be there. I just did not have the energy to be able to take that. It was overwhelming to try and take that in. I'd watch YouTube videos, and I watched the Game Grumps compilations Twitch stream. It's 24/7. I have that up, and I have Genshin on my other screen, and those were my days. Also, during all of this, I had close friends going through their own horrible things, happening back to back to back, alongside me, like how things were going for me. And of course, it was friends I had just moved away from, so I couldn't be there in person to help them, be there for them, and they couldn't be there for me. Overwhelming and exhausting. I think 2024 could be labeled the year of exhaustion, because I was running on fumes from the start of the year, and those fumes ran out after May, and St. Jude ended. The fumes were gone. The arrow was below E. Gaslight hadn't been flashing, and light burned out, bro. What fully broke me was all year something would happen, and I would say, just allow it, to universe, to whatever, please leave Tracer out of it. I don't care what else happens to me. I can handle it. I will handle it. That's been my life. It's just, alright, let's go. Let's deal with this. Let's get through it. Don't let anything happen to Tracer. She doesn't deserve it. I need her. And after everything, I ended up losing her. One night in December, I was thinking about her, and it's kind of stopped. I was like, alright, I'll be in this moment. I'd been doing better by then of talking about her and thinking about her and not fully losing myself into an emotional breakdown. I was just kind of reflecting on the year. I was thinking about this video. I stopped and just kind of was in the moment thinking about her. I walked over to her box over there and her little clay paw print. There's also a little drawing portrait I've always had since like 2018 of her and I, and there's her collar and her 2 favorite toys are up there. I was over there for a minute or so, just kind of, taking that moment with her. Things would be a lot easier if I still had her. That was that. Took a deep breath, continued on. I think I was in the middle of making dinner, but that was that. I was like, I can't dwell on this. This is gonna make me feel worse. I had that moment, and I'm going to move on, hopefully. And I did. Continued on my night, and I went to bed. And I wake up the next morning, December 23rd. Wake up. And I hear crying. But like a cat. A young cat. Crying. Which is odd. No one else in here has cats. I thought maybe the people down below me had a cat. I wasn't for sure, and I was like, okay, maybe they actually do. But why am I just now hearing it? Maybe they just got it. Maybe they just got it. And I kept hearing it cry and cry because it was right under me. Well, maybe they've, closed it away in the bedroom for some reason, and it stopped for a bit. Okay. All right. And I'm sitting there like thinking about my day. I think I was going to my parents that day for something, and the crying starts again. I'm like, okay, something's up, because no one downstairs is reacting. Something might be up. And I look outside. I couldn't see anything. I just had this feeling. I should go outside and check, just to be safe. As I'm getting dressed, I hear downstairs the guy being like, "There's a kitten outside." Like right up against the building. I just, from my vantage point out my window, the angle I just couldn't see directly down. There's a kitten out there crying. So I'm like, oh fuck, okay. And I get dressed. There was snow on the ground. With the wind chill, it was like 0 degrees. It was freezing. The wind was howling. I was like, I gotta, at the very least, bring him inside, and I'll figure out what to do from there, right? They get outside before me, and I'm like, okay, are they gonna do anything? No. They just left. Alright. I go out there, sure enough, there's a little tiny orange-white kitten, like up against the apartment building. Right, like shaking, crying, and I go up, pet him and check him out. He doesn't seem hurt. And he was a little scared, but didn't really care because he didn't want to move. I'm sitting there petting him. I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? And I hear another cry. It wasn't him. I was like, oh no, there's more. So I followed it. It was under my car, actually. Another one. Mostly white, but orange. And that one darted right out to me. I was like, alright, you two are obviously siblings. And I carried that one over to the building. The other one was... I was like, I'm sorry to do this. This one was on the pavement, out of the snow. I was like, I gotta see you in the snow, I'm sorry. I was just like, stay? I just had to hope they would stay. And I came up to get a box. I grabbed a towel and a box. Came back down, they were still there. And they hopped right in immediately. I was like, okay, cool. And I brought them back up here. Made sure the heat was going. I have a little space heater. Put that on the floor and turned it on. I didn't have any treats or cat food left. I gave that to a friend that has cats. I was like, all I really have that's safe for you is bread and water. So got them some water. Would tear up little pieces of bread and spread it on the floor for them. And then they start exploring and jumping around. I call shelter / animal control. I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what protocol is here. And they said, well, you're okay to keep them, but we'll be, they would be on the lookout, and for me to be on the lookout online, or if there's any flyers around town, if someone lost them, they're actually like, they got out or something. I was like, oh yeah, of course. If, 2 little kittens, if they belong to a family, and like some kid out there is like devastated right before Christmas losing their kids, I'll give them up. But the more I looked at them, it was pretty obvious they'd been outside for a few days, and there was nothing online anywhere. And where I live right now, a block to the north and a block to the east are just cornfields and country. And out here, it's really common for people to go out in the country and just dump animals. Just let them go, drive off. Those people should be left out in 0 degrees and below weather, face down in the snow, tied up and ran over. But people do it. They just had a lot like dirt and mud set into their paws and on their fur. They had fleas, and not terribly, thankfully. It's like they must have been dumped, and they've been outside for a while. I went out, got a litter box, got some supplies, food. And what solidified for me that they'd been dumped, they never like went on the floor or anything, which I was fully bracing for. I was like, it's whatever, it's fine, I don't care, I'll clean it up, it's whatever. Bring the litter box in, or litter in, they immediately jump into it. They knew what it was. They knew what the food bag was. I was like, yeah, these 2 have been dumped. They're trained, they know what everything is. And they started to grow on me, and everyone was like that's a sign, like they're a sign that like they're for you. And then I told everybody like, well, last night I was, thinking about Tracer and like how much easier it'd be if I still had her. Everyone's like, she sent them to you. And well, now I own 2 kittens, Star and Shadow. Did you know 2 kittens are a goddamn handful? I'm not gonna lie, it's been a little stressful. But it's been nice. It's been really nice. They're kind of learning, especially the last few days. They're starting to like learn my routine, learn the routine in general. If you're wondering what this is off to the side here, yesterday, I set up a gate because they can't be trusted in this living room. And that's another reason why I haven't been recording or streaming or anything. I can't do anything with them in here. They are constantly climbing or bouncing at my monitors, getting into stuff over here, and the cords, Star, for whatever reason, in the 2 corners keeps spraying. We'll use the litter box still just fine, but also we'll go in here. So, they'd set up. I made sure to get one tall enough that they couldn't jump. I made sure I knew how high they could jump, and they learned to jump higher when the skate came in. Shadow was tinfoil in there, and that's scared them so far, thankfully. That's what all that is so far. But they're so cute. I couldn't take them to the shelter. Like, they sleep together. They do everything together. If they don't know where one is, they cry and come get me to, like, help them go find the other one. Like, they can't be separated. It has been really nice having them around and bonding with them. Like I said, everybody was like, Tracer did that for you. She sent those 2 to you. Maybe there's something to it. I don't know. So, yeah. That's my 2024. stressful, exhausting. So few positives, so very few. But there at least were some positives. The St. Jude Summit was incredible. For example, I felt so welcomed and like I belonged with all these other big creators that I've known for years, watched for years. You can go back and watch, the St. Jude vlog recap type video I did. That was great. That was a great time. I'm really excited for this year's summit. I hope I get to go. I did a sponsored stream at Genshin Impact. Oh, that started a new addiction. And I found Arjana. I guess that is stressful as it was in the beginning. It still kind of is, but we're smoothing things out. They're like barely 4 months. I think they're going on 4 months probably. It's like they're young. They have time to chill out. They're also part of the reason like why this video is so late and why it's taking until today to be able to record. So as for 2025, it's hard not to look at it with fear, anxiety, but an odd sense of drive and like that fire being reignited. I at least did get to start the year off in a very good way. One of my closest friends who did the commission, the Tracer Portrait Commission, came out and visited for a few days. And it was really nice. We haven't seen each other since we went to see Coldplay in 2022. It's May 22, it's almost 3 years ago. So it was really nice. We don't get to see each other very often. And being around her, seeing her just happy, doing well, seeing her as her again was really nice. I'll put actually all the usernames I can find here. Please go support her. Ghost Dragon or Jillian Gunn, wherever she is. Yes, I'm heavily biased, but I can say so unbiasedly. She is an incredible artist. Incredible. She does pet portrait commissions. She does tattoos. She does all kinds of stuff. She's making her own fursuit right now. She can do anything art, and she's always been amazing. I've known her, oh my god, over 10 years now. It's weird. And I've watched her. She was amazing when I first met her, and I've just watched her just grow and grow. It's incredible watching her do her work. Go follow her, go follow her streams, go support her. Look around at her shops, DM her if you want something made. Just please. Like I said, if your username's up here, and I'll have links down below also. She is one of the 3 closest friends I have that I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. But looking ahead of this year, I'm coming off of the worst year of my life. How do you move forward from that? I really don't know, but I guess I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna keep going forward. I'm sure there's gonna be more challenges to come. More hard shit's gonna hit me. But I just made it through the worst year of my life, where the 2 major things I feared happened basically back to back. That's truly beyond rock bottom. there is nothing lower than that. So I at least have more confidence to handle whatever happens this year. But I get a few more positives, please. I'm not even being greedy here. Like, come on. Come on. This was even longer than I thought it was gonna be. Oh my god. Edited down, it's still gonna be longer than I thought it was gonna be. I didn't even get into the election and political shit. You know, everyone's favorite part. I hope you had a better 2024. I hope you have an even better 2025. You're in the same boat as me or some of my friends where it was just disaster after worst case after worst case disaster. I hope 2025 treats you better. At the very least, gives you room to grieve and process and just exist. Even if nothing grand, incredible happens, I hope you at least have that space to take a breath and exist. No matter what you went through, if you're watching this video, congrats. Also, thank you for making it this far. But congrats, you made it through. I know all the New Year stuff, it's cheesy, but I think there's still a little truth to the whole, like, restart thing. It's a good way to compartmentalize 2024, put it in a box, store it away, be done with it. Now in 2025, if you're feeling really down, starting to be like, oh, things are going to shit, I feel awful, you can, look back at that box, take a peek in, remember what you went through, you made it through, you can definitely handle what's gonna happen. And I really hope to be there to help, making videos, streaming. I can be the one thing that makes you laugh, gives you the nose thing, a smile. One of my shorts, videos, streams, I can say something dumb, be funny, and be what makes you laugh that day. And that's all I want to do. Just remember, we are headed into more crazy times with American politics that are going to affect the world more than we thought, supposedly. So just check in on each other. Be sure to check in on yourself. And be kind to each other. And thank you all for watching, listening. See you in the next one. With hopefully a less heavy topic. Have a great day, everybody.